Hi Aquarius, my sun sign brothers and sisters, welcome to your month ahead tarot for January 2020 with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, if you're new to this, if you're true to this, if you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share. If you should so choose, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. Thank you for all of your support. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. If you are interested, I will be running a Mindset Magic course in March. From the 1st of March, we will be going live with that. I'm really excited about it. It's something I've worked very hard on and I can't wait to see what you guys think of it. With that said, I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help us on our paths to our highest vibrational good. So, my sun sign brothers and sisters, let's have a look, see what January 2020 has in store for us. What is happening for us here in January. And this year in January, we get the Five of Wands as your actions and interactions with the world at large. Now, this is a good card to have because it's a Wands card in the fire sector. It gives a lot of energy, but it also suggests that things will be very, very busy for you. This means that you may be in more demand than you expected to be. It may be that more is put on your shoulders. It might very well be that you're expected to lead a group in some way, shape or form. So your Five of Wands can also be about competition. It can be about a lot of people talking at once, sometimes competing for the limelight, sometimes competing for that top spot. Now, it does suggest, there's something about this that kind of suggests that you'll be at the forefront of the group. But it does suggest to me that this is going to be almost like a bit of a burden to you. It's kind of like you're going to be expected to do something, and it may be something that you wouldn't necessarily volunteer for. It might be something that you have to, you know, when I say you have to do, you don't have to do anything, but it might be something that is imposed on you that you can't really get out of, or that you don't feel like you can sort of wrangle your way out of, so to speak. It does give you a lot of energy. It does give you a lot of energy to do things. It also sees you networking, making big connections. I mean, we do have that big Saturn-Pluto conjunction taking place here in January to boot. We've got Jupiter in Capricorn. On top of that, the South Node is in Capricorn and the Sun is in Capricorn. So this is a big focus, especially for those of you that are ascendant Aquarians, because this is a big emphasis on your 12th house. For those of you that are sun sign Aquarians, obviously it will be slightly different. But yeah, your actions and interactions with the world at large. There's something about this that kind of suggests to me, and in true Aquarian fashion, that you're saying this year, do you know what? I know I can't do it alone, but I'm not going to take collaboration for the sake of collaboration. It's almost like you're being very selective about the groups and the people and the things that you align with, but you've got all the energy that you need, right? It just might be a lot busier and a lot bittier than you expect. So keep that in mind. All right, your money and materials here in January. You've got the Strength card, right? So this asks you to pay attention to your finances and ask yourself, what do you truly gain value from? Right? What is it that you really enjoy, first of all, and what is it that you feel like is a good use of your resources? The Strength card represents Leo, but it also represents the courage to do what needs to be done. It also delves into you having the guts to speak your mind, or to speak your truth, and to present yourself as you truly are. Now, the thing about this, the Strength card also, because it represents Leo, has a very generous feel to it. Now, because this is next to the Five of Wands, for some of you, interestingly enough, I'll tell you a funny story later, this kind of feels for me like some of you may be considering some form of charity work, something that you want to do for others, and it may be something that it might be something that you want to keep under wraps, but you can't. It might be that if you want to be a part of this thing or this project, you kind of have to be out there. Now, with the Strength card here in your money and materials, it does suggest that you will need to take care of your physical body, right? Especially with the Five of Wands, this looks like you're very busy, really taking care of your health. Maybe this is, you know, a new diet, new exercise regime. For some of you, this is a new sport, right? The Strength card, the physical physical body. 5, sports, group exercise, you know, things that you do with people. This could be you taking up a new hobby. On a physical, mundane level, this is about you getting fit through something that you love to do. I mean, you know, when I see this, I'm like, yeah, cool, bring it on. I used to dance. Obviously don't dance anymore, but I would love to get back into all of that. So yeah, for sure, brilliant. The other thing as well, when it comes to money and materials, the Strength card asks you to really pay attention. What are you spending money on that has kind of outlived its purpose? What is it that you're spending resources on that is actually no longer doing what it says? And one thing that I have to say to you, my dear Aquarians, because maybe this comes from my Aquarian energy, but I have to share this with you. In 2020, one thing that I've promised myself, not that I do a lot of it, but I'm not buying any more of these you know, fad things. I'm just not doing it. My motto for 2020, right? 2020 is a 4-year, right? It has the 4-year energy. If it doesn't do what it says on the tin, I'm not buying it. I'm not spending any money on it. And this isn't about reading reviews and all of the rest of it. I'm talking across the board, from food to products to, you know, things that I use, all of it. If it doesn't do what it says it's going to do, I'm just not interested. Whether that's, you know, coaches, gurus, friends, what, you know, whatever it is across the board. That is my motto for 2020. If it doesn't do what it says it's going to do, I'm really not interested. I don't have time, nor do I have energy to focus anywhere else. So pay attention to what it is that you truly value and what it is that is actually adding value to you, that you put your resources into. All right. So when it comes to your communications with the world at large, let's have a look, see. We get the Empress, right? This is beautiful. And look at that. I mean, that whole energy looks like it's working, right? Your Empress card is about fun. It's about enjoyment. It's about vibrancy. These are actually really great cards because it suggests that you are doing a lot of networking. It suggests that you are building a really strong foundation of people around you that actually resonate with the frequency that you're at. What I love about the Empress is she's light, she's easy, she's fun, but she's also about growing things. She's about that fertile ground that you lay your ideas in. The fact that this comes in your communication sector and it's right next to the Strength card, this is about you communicating to people what you believe is truly valuable, what it is that you feel is adding value to your lives, and more importantly, discovering how you can add more value to the world. There's something about these cards that, even though January is going to be an intense month, there's something about these cards that really sees you looking to the best and brightest of the future. It's almost like you're just focused on, you know what, yes, all right, it's tough. Yes, the environment, the current world situation is intense, but you know what, I'm going to inject laughter, I'm going to inject humor, and ultimately I'm going to connect with people that are going to facilitate my growth and people who I can whose growth I can facilitate. Bloody hell, that was a mouthful. Right? I mean, I really love this. I really love it. Very, very interesting. Yeah, but communications look good. Communications look fairly easy as well. And it does suggest that your ideas are really received well. Now, I will say this. There's not a great deal, because this is 2020 in general for Aquarians, right? There's not a great deal of out there yet. This could all be ideas, it could all be preliminary stages, it could all be, laying foundations, building the group, building the team, so that when you're ready, you have all of the resources, connections, and everything that you need in order to move forward. All right, so think about it in that way. Your personal relationships, you've got the Page of Cups, right? So for those of you that are single, lots of fun to be had. I will say this, and in true Aquarian fashion, just be cautious about what you promise when it comes to new relationships, when it comes to new connections that are coming in. And the reason I say that is because things might develop really quickly and you might be asked for more than you are able to give. So pay attention to your feelings. How you really feel about someone is what you should say to them, right? And that doesn't mean you have to be mean or callous. It just means if you're not really feeling something long term with them, stay in your integrity and state that. Just say, look, you know what, I'm having a lot of fun. I love, you know, where things are at the moment. I don't personally feel like it's progressing beyond that. For those of you that are partnered, I mean, this looks absolutely brilliant. For those of you that are trying to conceive, the energy is absolutely there. Just be cautious, obviously, if that's not the experience that you want. For those of you that are partnered and maybe not looking to have children, this really does suggest that this year, your main focus is your home. Either where you're, you know, and I say this year because this is coming right through in January. The Empress, your environment, the Page of Cups, you know, considering or getting intuitions about where you want to be. For some of you, this could be you deciding that you want to move abroad. For some of you, this could be deciding, you know, that actually, you know what, we've had a great time where we are, but we're ready for the next place now. I mean, I wish I could say that it's going to get easier, but I don't think it will. And the reason I say that is because, as you know, I am a sun sign Aquarian, and since Uranus went into Taurus, I have moved no less than 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and I know that it's not done with me yet, so I'm kind of like, okay, here we go. All right, but yeah, no, relationships look good. These are actually very light cards, and I kind of feel like they belie the January that we're going to have. The intensity is going to be there, make no mistake. How you respond to it, how you work with this energy is a lot brighter and lighter than the energy that surrounds you. Your first week of the month, you've got the Death card right underneath the 5 of Wands. For some of you, it looks like you're taking control in a situation that nobody else seems to have. You know, like I said, the 5 of Wands with the Death card, it really does look for me like you're taking control of a situation that might be challenging. It may be that other people just don't have the energy, maybe they don't have the time. In some way, shape or form, my dear Aquarians, you are going to be called to step up to the plate here in January. And I got to be honest with you, because of the current astrology, this is going to be a thankless job, right? Whatever it is that you're called to do, there probably will be very little in the way of praise or recognition. It's going to have to be something that you do, not for brownie points later down. It's just, there's nobody else to fill the gap, and it's going to have to be you. And how this shapes up is going to be different for everybody. For some people it might be in your personal life, for some people it might be in your family life, for others it might be in your you know, your professional life. Like, this could be across the board in any one of those arenas. You'll know when it comes, because you'll be like, right, okay, nobody seems to be taking the helm here. Nobody seems to be taking the wheel. And I can see that we're actually on course for derailing. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to do it. I have to, because nobody else is going to. Your second week of the month, you've got the Moon card right underneath the Strength card. So when it comes to finances, you're going to have to discover, or not discover, you're going to have to utilize the power of the word no. When it comes to the Moon card right underneath the Strength card and your money and materials, yes, there could be some old regime, something that you used to love to do coming back into your life, but it also sees you being very clear, right? And I say this because the Moon card can represent your past, and it can also represent confusion and sometimes fear. This is about conquering that fear of, is somebody going to be all right without my input? Right? And this isn't anything to do with this. This is an isolated event. Whereas this is something that's ongoing. It may be somebody that continually asks you for money. It may be somebody that continually expects you to foot the bill. It might be somebody that you know, kind of expect you to show up and bail them out in some way, shape or form. This is, you know, this second week of January, you could really be kind of very clear about that. Now, interestingly enough, in the second week of January is when we have the lunar eclipse, right? Now look at this, right? Just look at this. The Strength card represents Leo. The ruler of Leo is the sun. And then over here you've got the moon card, right? It's a lunar eclipse. I mean, that's just really, you know, mind-blowing stuff. I love the way that tarot works. But yeah, this could really reveal something to you in that respect. And it might even show you where it is that some of your goals, where it is that some of your, you know, monetary, financial, or even health goals, it might show you or reveal to you where they're going to require more effort than you're currently putting in. Your third week of the month, you have the Justice card right underneath the Empress, right? I mean, this is good because it looks like there's a contract. It looks like there's something coming in here that is actually going to be really beneficial for you. You've got the Empress card, which is, you know, Lady Venus offering blessings. And then you've got the Justice card here as well. Interestingly enough, by the time we get to the second or third week of January, Venus will have already moved into Aquarius, right? So this really offers harmonious communications, but it also brings you something that could really help further your goals. And it might be that you have to exercise the strength in order to choose yourself first, in order to put yourself first. And as I said, this is an isolated incident. This relates to your life path in general, all right? And then your fourth week of the month, you've got the Emperor right underneath the Page of Cups. For those of you that are in long-term relationships, this could be where you're getting engaged. This is about you making a final commitment. It's about you choosing to move forward together in a way that, makes both of you truly happy. For those of you that are single, like I said, for those of you that are seeing somebody, that have literally just started to see somebody, you could be having a lot of fun, but you're going to have to stay in your integrity. You're going to have to really be honest with this person and say, look, you know what, I don't feel like it's going to develop beyond where it is. I'm talking about, so for the commitment side of things, I'm talking about if you've had a boyfriend or a girlfriend for, say, 3-4 years, right? That's when you're going to start to see engagements. For those of you that are already partnered, for those of you that are already married, this could be where you're looking at children. It could be where you're really solidifying and affirming your bond. And then on top of that, the Emperor represents structure. So there's definitely something. And then you've got the Empress and the Emperor, right? With the Page of Cups there. Man and woman, divine male, divine female come together, they make a baby. So this for me, very self-explanatory. For a lot of you, this does spell out a new move. It might not necessarily be happening here in January, but you might get news or a development of some sort that, that basically says to you, okay, you know what, it's time to go on to the next place. And you might be setting a date. All right, your key to the month is the Devil card. What goes, you've got to let it. What arrives into your life this month, let it arrive. The Devil card, or nature in this, basically says that this, whatever it is that you're clinging to, will become evident this month, right? Whatever it is, and it might be some of these patterns, these habits. It might be some of it might be where you're enabling somebody else. For some of you, this is about your own bad habits. It's about where you get in your own way. It's about the things that you cling to and refuse to let go of that have become self-destructive in a way. The fact that you've got this as your key to the month, it basically says this month, nothing is solid. This month, everything and anyone is transient. And as long as you see it that way, you don't cling too hard to anything. Remember, your keywords for this month are fun, enjoyment, laughter, not taking anything too seriously. It's going to be the only way that you will survive January. That's not to say like doomsday is going to happen, but it's going to be a naturally intense month. So what you're being asked here, I feel, especially with the Devil card as your key to the month, don't hold on to any of it. Whatever is outworn, outdated, outmoded, just let it go. It will do you so much more benefits than holding on to it. And if you cling to anything this month, the chances are it will do you more damage than if you would just let it go. All right. So I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you. Take care, and I'll see you soon.